The church in the past has referred to those who are validly baptized as Christiani, okay? Even in her law, she makes provisions for this, okay? She even makes the distinction between a prohibiting impediment to marriage and an invalidating impediment to marriage. As far as whether you're marrying a Catholic who's marrying a non-Catholic who's baptized, a Catholic who's marrying someone who's not baptized at all, okay? So the church actually does make a distinction there. You might say we're arguing a matter of semantics here, okay? Look, the one true faith is the traditional Catholic faith. That is the one true faith. We know that. Do I consider those who are who do not have the traditional Catholic faith, do I consider them to be Christians? Not in the strict sense of the term, because I do not believe they believe in Christ as he really is and his teachings as they really are, okay? And so that is my understanding of them. Right? But the fact is that there are those who do believe in Christ insofar as they know him. I think back to Pope Pius X in Charbonimis, the encyclical Charbonimis, when he actually says there are many Catholics who are so ignorant of the faith that they do not even know enough of the faith to save their souls. But he still refers to them as Catholics because they're baptized Catholics. And yet he says they do not have enough knowledge of the faith to even be saved. Now that's kind of a bold statement there, you know. But one can go back to St. Pius X's own words in the Charbonimis and read those words. That he's talking about the ignorance of the Catholics about their faith. The fact that we refer to so many people as being Christians, we don't mean that they are being faithful to the Church of Christ, the one true Catholic Church. We don't mean they have the Catholic faith. But there are prayers which are in the Recolta that the Church herself has given to us that refer to the Christian faith, believe it or not. I mean, they're approved by the Church. They're indulgence prayers. I prefer to use the term the Catholic faith there. But there are indulgence prayers in the Recolta that actually have that referring to the Christian faith. We'd be faithful to that, okay? The Church, when she means what she speaks that, she is referring to the Catholic faith, obviously, right? Because that is what she considers and knows to be the one true faith of Christ, okay? The Church traditionally has not denied the name, including in the name of Christians, those who are validly baptized. And the Church has herself, in the course of time, acknowledged that baptism is, in fact, in cases valid by outside the Catholic Church, by non-Catholic ministers who validly confer that sacrament. And she has actually anathematized those who deny that. You know, I think we have to look at how the Church uses the term Christian herself, okay? In fact, she does at times use that term to refer to all of those who are validly baptized. Look, there are those who are members of the Catholic faith who are not going to be saved. And one could, proceed beyond that argument to say, well, this really only refers to those who are actually in the state of grace, who should be called Christians. Right? And there are those who actually took it to that point, and they even come up with some kind of invisible church. And that's the concept the church has condemned. But without faith, it is impossible to please God, we know, and that means without the virtue of faith. But the fact is that there are Catholics today who have the virtue of faith, who don't necessarily know all the doctrines of the faith because they're so poorly instructed. The Church herself has acknowledged that in the past. Pope Pius X acknowledged that. I just don't want to contradict St. Pius X and other popes before, and other writings of the Catholic Church in which they refer to Christians as being those who are baptized, even if they are not actually members of the Church, because they have placed themselves outside the Church.